Okay, lesson 7-2, simplifying algebraic expressions. There you go. Sorry. Yep, yep. Draw the picture, because I'm going to use that coming up here. And you might want to even have your colors out then so you can do some of that stuff with me. All right, so here's what you're going to see today. You're going to see a big expression that looks like this, okay? And all the parts to this is called a term, okay? Every single part. Now, when you figure terms out, you also include the sign that's in front. You're taking this whole thing apart. Each one of these things are terms. So if I would add, like, let's say I have a -2 on the end, okay? If I would ask you what the terms are, you're going to tell me all of these, including the sign in front. Now, do you have to say like +8? Can you just say 8? Because if we talk about positive numbers, do you ever say like +16? You just say 16, right? So if you have something positive, don't worry about the sign in front. But if you have something that has a subtraction sign in front, you have to include that in the front. Okay? So if I ask you what the terms are here, you'd say 2x, 8, 1x, 3, and -2. Okay? I just threw it on there. Okay? Okay, so coefficients then. Coefficients are the numbers that are with the letters. That's it. The numbers that are with the letters here are 2, and what else? 1. What goes with the only variable? A 1. So you have to include that today, as you're going to forget some part of this. Don't say the coefficient is 2x. That's not the coefficient. It's just 2. And so many people did that last year. If I asked what the coefficient was, you said, well, 2x, 3x, 9x. The x is not included. Okay, it's just the number. Constant. Constant is anything that doesn't have a letter with it. So up here my constants would be 8, 3, and -2. Those would be my constants, that's it. Sometimes you might not have any constants. That's just the way it is, just write none. Okay? Sometimes you might not have any like terms either. We're going to talk about that in a second. So does everybody understand terms? You're taking you're taking it apart into pieces is what you're doing. And I had one person say, well, why do you have to add those signs in front? Well, because of this. If I didn't do that, this is what it would look like after I took the pieces apart. I have to include that because otherwise what does that even mean? That's why I have to include the signs with it. Okay? They're part of my pieces to my puzzle and I have to have it. Alright, so my next vocab word is like terms. Okay, like terms have the same variable and exponent. Today you aren't really going to worry about exponents too much. It's going to be mostly the same variables. Okay, and I'm actually going to simplify this. Simplify the simplifying term just to combine like terms. You don't probably have to. Just know that like terms are anything that have the same variable and exponent. We won't really be dealing with exponents today. Most likely just same variables. And then simplifying is combining those terms then. Putting them together. Because our job is to make these expressions as small as possible. That's our job today. We can't solve them because we don't know what the variable is. But we're going to get them as small as possible before we solve. What were we saying? Yeah. Not solve. Today you can't solve. You're going to simplify as far as you can, and that's your answer. Yep. Riley? So like this would be my answer then. Because these are my two like terms. These are the only things I can put together. I can't add anything to this because do these two things have any exponents? No. So they're not like terms then. If I had another one here, this would be considered like terms then. They have to have the same variable and exponent. I had another person ask in the other class, well, why can't I put the 4x squared and the 2x and the 3x? Because they don't have that squared on the end. I can't put them together. Okay, I can only put together what looks alike. Questions so far? Anybody? Okay. Let's talk about, you guys remember this, right? One in front of lonely variables. We kind of talked about that the other day. Don't forget, you have to do it today. So first three problems in your homework today is going to give you an expression that's going to tell you to name the terms, like terms, coefficients, and constants. Okay? So first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at it, and I don't care if you use your colors. I don't care what you do. Like I like to circle my two things that can go together. Really nothing else can up there. So my terms today, what are my terms here? 6x, negative 2y. Very good. They're all my pieces to my puzzle. Like terms, what are the only two things up here that could be put together? Yeah. Very good. Coefficients. Anybody know? And what else? Negative 2, 1. Okay. And then constants? Negative 5. Okay. If you need to, look at your terms. So if you have them listed correctly, you should be able to tell exactly what should go where. Okay? Hunter. Because I'm taking every single sign with it. Remember, I have to take the sign with it because it's like the pieces to my puzzle. I can't forget them because then my puzzle will not go together. Okay? Brian? No. Gosh, no. Like if you put like +6 or +1, no. You know, you don't need to, but if you want to, just make sure you have it all. That's fine with me. Doesn't matter. I'm going to give you another one here, and I want you to tell me the terms, like terms, coefficients, and constants, okay? All right, try this one. You can write it down. You can abbreviate. LT means like terms. Yep. What's that? Hmm? Yep. All right. Terms, what do you think? Yep. Like terms? Yep. And -4 and 5. Because I can put them together, right? Okay. So they're also considered like terms even if they don't have a variable in them. Coefficient? Yep. Constant? Very good. Any questions on this? Because this is like the first 3 problems on your homework today. We'll say test in your homework today. Yeah, not too hard. If you have everything you need in your notebook, you should be able to easily do that in your homework today. Simplifying, that's the next thing we're going to do, okay? We're going to start simple so we don't get confused. Now, my 7th grade thought that this answer should be 11a squared, which is a very good, I mean, they were thinking about it. Now, why is it not 11a squared? Can anybody explain that to me? Right, so 7a's look like this, right? 6, 7, that's my 7a's. And then I'm adding 4 more. Now how many a's do I have? 11 a's. It's not squared. It'd be squared if I was multiplying things, but I'm not multiplying things. I'm adding, right? So my answer here would be just 11a. Hard? No. Okay, so let's try a little harder ones. Starting simple. Starting simple. Oh, I gotta find my other marker here. Okay, let's look at this one. Well, can we do one by yourself together and then you can do the next by yourself? Okay. So I have a few up here, and like I said, I like to circle what I can put together in the same color. And this one's easy because they're beside each other, but they're not always going to be beside each other. So I like to just circle with the sign in front of it as well. Okay. So then I look, because those signs are important. They tell me if I'm going to add or subtract. And when I do these things, I have to go from left to right. I just can't say, well, I'm going to take 9 plus 1. I mean, I have to do an order from left to right. So 2 and then plus 8, 10y. And then here's the tricky part. This is where a lot of people get confused. What's 1 plus 9? 10. Is it a positive 10? So then it's going to be positive 10. That's my answer. So whatever sign you get from here, that's the sign that's in the middle. So many people get confused about that. So whatever sign you get here, that's the sign here. Yes. Very good. Very good. Okay, try this one by yourself. You know what? I'll just give you a good one. I'll make it up. I'll make it up. Let's do this. I'm going to get harder. So today on your homework, I don't care if you use different color pens on your homework. It doesn't matter use different color pens on your test when we get to your test. I don't care. As long as you have some kind of method for you that you know how to solve these problems. So I would circle 3x plus 9 should be 12x, right? And then you have negative 4 plus 8 should be plus 4. Okay, let's try a harder one. So let's do negative 4x plus 6 minus 3x minus 8. Oops. If you have negative 1x starting your answer, that is incorrect. You got negative 1x. That is not correct. Where would you get it? Negative 4 minus 3? But you got to keep change, right? So you should have negative 7x? Holy cow. What are you doing then? Holy cow. Okay. Well, sorry.
Oh, I solved the problem.
What problem are you talking about? Okay, so these two be negative 7x. 6 minus 8 would be, keep changing, would be negative 2. I don't know which one you're looking at because there's only 3. Oh. Okay, careful with keep change because you're going to have to do that once in a while. You have to be careful with it. Next thing I'm going to show you, no, let's, you want to do one more? Should we do one more? Hard? Okay. There you go, do that one. Oh, that's not that hard. Don't forget to put the 1 in front of the x. Yep, because you'll forget. You'll forget about him if you don't do that. So 9x plus 10x is 19 minus x, so 18x plus 11. Good thing I have that on tape. Alright, so the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to do something that have distributive property with it. Okay, so don't freak out because you did this yesterday. So you know how to do this already. What you're going to do first, you're going to do distributive property, and then you're going to start to simplify. Okay, so for example, I have 6 parentheses y plus 8 minus 5y. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute that. So I'm going to get 6y plus 48. And then when I have this done, I'm going to bring down whatever else I did not use. And then I can simplify. Yep, so I would be 6y minus 5y, be 1y plus 48. Okay, do the other one by yourself and don't say it out loud. Y plus 48 would also work. That one. Okay, zip your lip. Okay, before we do anything, let's make sure you did your distributing right. Should be 7x, and then if you did 7 times a negative 2, you should have got minus 14 plus 3x. Then you should be able to simplify. 7x plus 3x 10x minus 14. Any questions on distributing? First distribute, and then you simplify. Don't solve it. Can you solve it? No, we don't know what y is, or x, or z, or t, or whatever letter they use. I would like to show you, I'm gonna talk about this quick, just to talk about it. You're not gonna see anything like this, but I just want you to be prepared, because you might see it in a STAR test, okay? So if you had to simplify something like this, what are the only things you could put together up here? These two things. Why can I not put this one in? It's not squared. It's not squared. So my answer to this would be 7x squared plus x minus 1. That's all the farther I can go. Okay? Even over here, what's the only things I can put together? Yep. So it'd be x squared plus 3x plus 5. Now let me show you something in 7th grade math today. On their test, this is what the problem was. It was like 8c plus 2 minus 6n plus 3. A lot of them put 8c and 6n together. Can I do that? They're not the same. C is a different number than n, so they cannot go together. What are the only two things I could put up here? 2 and 3. Okay? So you might have some answers that have more than 3 terms in it. You can have 3 terms. Does that make sense? You can have 2 terms, 3 terms. Just make sure that, like, I know another one of your problems in your homework today kind of looks like this. It looks like this. 2a plus 3ab plus 4c plus 9. Can I put any of those together? I can't put anything. Even if this was a b, I still cannot, because this doesn't have an a and a b, and that doesn't have an a and a b. If they did, then I could. But since they do not have the same variables, I cannot do anything. So would any of these be even like terms? No. I need to show you one story problem, because there's 2 story problems in your homework today. And when you get to the story problems, I want you to try the best you can. That's all I'm asking. Here, it's really not difficult. You just got to think about it a little bit. Kathy bought 2 DVDs that cost X dollars each, 4 CDs that cost $10 each, and 2 more DVDs that cost X dollars each. Write and simplify an expression to determine how much Kathy spent. So her first DVDs, do we know how much they cost? 2X. What about her CDs? Plus 2? Wait. 4 CDs, and they cost how many dollars each? So how much money did she cost? $40 on CDs, right? $4, $10 a piece. So then she added 40 more bucks. And then it sounds like she bought 2 more DVDs plus another 2X. 4X plus 40. You are correct. It should be simple, but some people don't see it that way. Okay? So take your time. Use your colors in your homework if you want to use your colors. Okay? Your first 3 just ask you to do your terms, your like terms, your coefficients, and your constants. You don't have to solve them. You don't have to simplify. Just do the